The tall spires of the Veridonian palace reached high into the orange sky. King Zarthex walked back and forth in his room. His clear skin showed the blue veins underneath, a sign that he was very worried. The king looked out the window at the 3 moons that hung over his world. His people had lived in peace for many years. Now that peace was ending. The Krell, a race of insect-like aliens from a nearby star system, were getting closer every day. "Your Majesty, the human ambassador has arrived," said Nyx, the king's most trusted advisor. "Send him in," the king said, his voice deep and echoing. Ambassador Jack Wilson entered the grand chamber. He was a tall man with short gray hair and a serious face. He had been Earth's voice to the stars for 15 years. "Thank you for coming so quickly, Ambassador," said King Zarthex. "I fear we have little time." "The Krell ships have been spotted near your outer planets," Jack said. "Earth is ready to help." The king nodded slowly. "Your weapons are strong, your ships are fast, but the Krell are many. We need more than just guns and bombs to win this war." "What do you suggest?" asked Jack. The king pressed a button on his wrist. A picture appeared in the air between them. It showed a young Veridonian female. She was thin, even for her kind, with skin so clear it was almost see-through. Her eyes were large and purple. "This is my daughter, Princess Lyra," the king said, with sadness in his voice. "She has been sick since she was born. Our best doctors have tried everything, but she grows weaker each day." Jack looked at the image with confusion. "I'm sorry to hear that, Your Majesty. But I don't understand what this has to do with the war." "Our scientists have been studying humans for many years," the king explained. "Your kind is special. You can live in many places. Your bodies fight off sickness in amazing ways. We think that if a human and a Veridonian were joined in marriage, it might make my daughter strong." Jack's eyes grew wide. "Marriage? Between a human and your daughter?" "Yes," said the king. "It is our only hope, and it would join our worlds together in the fight against the Krell." "Who did you have in mind?" Jack asked. "Commander Samuel Reed," the king answered. "Our reports say he is brave and smart. He has won many battles against the Krell. He would make a good match for my daughter." Jack knew Commander Reed well. He was one of Earth's best soldiers, a man who had saved countless lives with his quick thinking and courage. But would he agree to marry an alien princess he had never met? "The commander is a soldier, not a diplomat," Jack said carefully. "This is a lot to ask of any person." "If he says no, we will fight the Krell alone," the king said. His voice was firm but sad. "And my daughter will die soon. This marriage is her only chance." Jack took a deep breath. "I will take your offer to Earth Command, and I will speak to Commander Reed myself. But I cannot promise he will say yes. Tell him that." "The fate of 2 worlds rests on his answer," the king said. As Jack left the palace, his mind was racing. How would Commander Reed react to such a strange request? And even if he agreed, would the marriage really save the princess? 3 days later, Commander Samuel Reed stood in the office of Admiral Helen Grant at Earth Command headquarters. His dark blue uniform was crisp, his posture perfect. At 35, he had already earned more medals than most soldiers get in a lifetime. "You wanted to see me, Admiral?" Sam asked. "Yes, Commander," said Admiral Grant. She was a serious woman, with short white hair and eyes that missed nothing. "Please sit down. Ambassador Wilson is here with some unusual news." Jack stood up and nodded to Sam. "Commander Reed, I've just returned from Veridonia. Their world is in danger from the Krell, as you know." "My ship fought off a Krell attack near their moon last month," Sam said. "They're getting bolder. The Veridonian king has asked for our help," Jack continued. "But not just military help, he has a special request." Sam listened in silence as Jack explained King Zarthex's proposal. His face showed no emotion, but his hands gripped the arms of his chair tightly. "Let me make sure I understand," Sam said when Jack finished. "The king wants me to marry his sick daughter. He thinks human DNA might make her stronger, and this marriage would seal an alliance between Earth and Veridonia against the Krell." "That's correct," said Admiral Grant. "It's an unusual request, to say the least." "It's crazy," Sam said. I'm a soldier, not a what, Commander? Asked Jack. A savior? A diplomat? A husband? Sam stood up and walked to the window. Outside, he could see ships taking off and landing at the spaceport. Some were military vessels heading out to fight the Krell. Others were hospital ships bringing back the wounded. What happens if I say no? He asked quietly. Admiral Grant sighed. The Veridonians will likely refuse our alliance. They'll try to fight the Krell alone, and they'll lose. And the princess? She'll die, Jack said simply. Maybe in a few months, maybe in a year. But without help, she has no chance. Sam turned back to face them. I want to see her first. Before I decide. Admiral Grant nodded. That's fair. Ambassador Wilson will arrange it. As Sam left the office, he thought about his life. He had always put duty first. He had fought in countless battles, saved many lives, but he had never had time for a family of his own. Now he was being asked to marry a dying alien princess to save 2 worlds. His second-in-command, Lieutenant Kate Lawson, was waiting for him outside. What was that about, sir? She asked. Pack your bags, Lieutenant, Sam said. We're going to Veridonia. Another mission against the Krell? Sam shook his head. No, this time it's something different. As their ship left Earth's orbit, Sam watched his home planet grow smaller through the viewing window. He wondered if he would ever see it the same way again. The journey to Veridonia took 5 days. Commander Samuel Reed spent most of that time reading about Veridonian culture and customs. He learned that they were a peaceful race who had lived for thousands of years without war. The Krell threat was the first real danger they had faced in generations. Lieutenant Kate Lawson found Sam in the ship's study room, surrounded by digital books and pictures of Veridonia. Studying hard, sir? She asked. Sam nodded. If I'm going to meet this princess, I should at least know something about her people. Do you really think you might marry her? Kate asked. Her voice was careful, not judging. Sam looked out the small window at the stars rushing by. I don't know. Part of me thinks it's crazy. Another part... He paused. Another part thinks about all the soldiers who would die if we fight the Krell without Veridonian help. Their technology is far ahead of ours, Kate agreed. Their shield systems alone could save thousands of lives. A voice came over the ship's speakers. Commander Reed, we are approaching Veridonia. Please prepare for landing. Sam took a deep breath. Time to meet a princess. Veridonia was beautiful from space. It had 3 small moons and rings like Saturn, but in shades of blue and purple. As their ship broke through the clouds, Sam saw vast cities of crystal and metal shining in the light of the orange sun. They landed at the royal spaceport near the palace. A group of tall, thin aliens with almost clear skin waited for them. One stepped forward. Commander Reed, welcome to Veridonia. I am Nyx, advisor to King Zarthex. We are honored by your visit. Sam and Kate followed Nyx to a transport that floated a few feet above the ground. It took them through the city to the palace, a huge building of twisted spires and arches that seemed to be made of glass, but was stronger than steel. Inside the palace, Sam noticed the air felt different. It was thicker, with a sweet smell. We have adjusted the air in this part of the palace to make you comfortable, Nyx explained. Veridonian air would be too thin for humans to breathe easily. They were led to a large room with a view of the palace gardens. Strange plants that looked like crystal flowers grew in neat rows. The king will see you shortly, Nyx said. Please rest after your long journey. When Nyx left, Kate walked to the window. It's so different from Earth, she said. Beautiful, but alien. That's what I am to them, Sam replied. An alien who might save their princess. An hour later, they were called to the throne room. King Zarthex sat on a raised platform, surrounded by advisors. He stood when Sam entered. Commander Reed, the king said, his voice deep and echoing. Thank you for coming. Sam bowed slightly. Thank you for the invitation, Your Majesty. The king came down from his throne. Up close, Sam could See that the king was old by Veridonian standards. His clear skin had a slight blue tint and his movements were slow. You know why I have asked you here, the king said. My daughter is dying. Our alliance is in danger. I believe you can help with both problems. I would like to meet the princess, Sam said. The king nodded. Of course, she has been preparing for your visit. She is in the garden. I will take you to her. The garden was in a dome at the top of the palace. Plants from all over the galaxy grew there, kept alive in special areas with different air and light. In the center was a small pond with water that glowed softly. Sitting by the pond was Princess Lyra. She was smaller than most Veridonians, her skin so clear that Sam could see the outline of her bones. Her eyes were large and purple, and her hair was like fine silver wire. She wore a simple white dress that seemed to flow around her like water. When she saw them, she tried to stand but seemed too weak. Sam quickly moved to her side. Please, don't get up, he said. Commander Reed, the princess said in a soft voice. Her English was perfect but had a musical quality. I am happy to meet you. The king spoke quietly to Sam. I will leave you two to talk. Take as much time as you need. He and the other Veridonians left the garden, along with Lieutenant Lawson. Sam sat on a bench near the princess. For a moment, neither spoke. This is strange for both of us, Lyra finally said. I never thought I would meet a human, much less be asked to marry one. And I never thought I'd be considering marriage to an alien princess, Sam replied with a small smile. Lyra looked at him with her large purple eyes. My father has told you that I am dying. Yes, it is true. I have maybe 1 Earth year left. Our scientists think that human DNA might help me. Your kind adapts so quickly to new things. You fight off sickness in ways we cannot. Sam nodded. That's what I've been told, but there's no way to know if it will work. No, Lyra agreed. It is a guess, a hope. She looked down at her thin hands. I don't want your pity, Commander. If you agree to this, I want it to be for the right reasons. And what are the right reasons, Sam asked. To save lives. To stop the Krell. To bring our worlds together. She looked up at him again. Not just to save one weak princess. Sam was surprised by her words. He had expected someone soft and scared. But despite her weak body, her mind was strong. Tell me about yourself, he said. Not as a princess. As a person. For the next hour, they talked. Lyra told him about growing up, in the palace, too weak to go outside much. How she had studied other worlds and dreamed of visiting them. How she had watched the stars at night and wondered what it would be like to travel among them. Sam told her about Earth, about growing up on a farm in the Midwest, about joining the Space Force to see the galaxy. He told her about the battles he had fought, the friends he had lost to the Krell. As they talked, Sam began to see Lyra not as a frail alien princess, but as a person with dreams and fears, just like anyone else. Commander, she said after a while, if you agree to this marriage, I want you to know that I will try to be a good partner. I know it is not a love match, but perhaps we can be friends at least. Sam looked at her thoughtfully. I think we already are. A loud alarm suddenly cut through the peaceful garden. Red lights flashed on the walls. What's happening? Sam asked, jumping to his feet. Nix ran into the garden, his face showing clear worry. Commander, Krell ships have been spotted entering our system. They will reach our planet in hours. The war had found them sooner than anyone expected. The palace shook as the alarm kept ringing. Guards ran in all directions. King Zarthex rushed into the garden, followed by Lieutenant Kate Lawson. We must get the princess to safety, the king said. His voice was calm, but his eyes showed fear. How many Krell ships? Sam asked. 3 big warships and many smaller attack ships, Nix replied. They will be here in 2 hours. Sam turned to Kate. Contact our ship. Tell them to be ready for battle. Yes, sir, Kate said, already speaking into her wrist communicator. Sam looked at Lyra. She was trying to stand, but her legs were shaking. Without thinking, he moved to her side and helped her up. Thank you, she said softly. Take the princess to the safe room under the palace. The king ordered his guards. No, Lyra said, surprising everyone. I want to go to the command center. I want to see what is happening. The king started to argue, but Sam spoke first. She's right. If the Krell are attacking, we all need to know exactly what's happening. The king looked at his daughter for a long moment, then nodded. Very well. The command center is this way. They took a floating platform down through the center of the palace to a large room deep underground. The walls were covered with screens showing the space around Veridonia. Officers sat at curved desks, talking quickly in their own language. One screen showed 3 large spiky ships moving toward Veridonia. Smaller ships flew around them like angry insects. Where are your defense ships? Sam asked. We have only 5 warships, the king said. They are moving to protect the planet, but they are not enough against the Krell fleet. My ship is small but fast, Sam said. It has good weapons. We can help fight. One small ship will not change much, Nick said. It's better than nothing, Kate replied sharply. Sam was looking at the screens, thinking hard. Your ships are here, here, and here, he pointed. The Krell are coming from this direction. If we position our ships like this, he moved his hands to show a new pattern. The king watched him with interest. You suggest we spread our ships out? Yes. The Krell expect you to form a wall of defense in front of the planet. If we spread out and attack from different angles, we can confuse them. The Veridonian admiral, a tall female named Zira, stepped forward. The commander's idea has merit. The Krell are not good at dealing with sudden changes. Do it, the king ordered. Sam turned to Kate. Get to our ship. Join the Veridonian fleet. Follow Admiral Zira's orders, but use our usual attack patterns. Yes, sir, Kate said. She looked at the princess before she left. Good luck, Your Highness. For the next hour, they watched as the Veridonian ships moved into position. Sam's ship, the Earth Defense Force ship Swift, joined them. The Krell kept coming, not changing their direct approach. They think we are weak, Lyra said. She was sitting in a special chair that supported her thin body. They expect us to run or surrender. They're wrong, Sam said. When the Krell fleet was close enough, Admiral Zira gave the order to attack. The Veridonian ships suddenly spread out and attacked the Krell fleet from 3 sides. The Swift darted between the bigger ships, firing quickly and moving away before the Krell could hit it. The surprise worked at first. 2 Krell ships were badly damaged, but then the Krell adjusted their formation. Their smaller ships formed a protective ring around the 3 big warships. They started firing at the Veridonian ships with their powerful weapons. Shield strength down to 60% on the Star Dancer, an officer reported. The Swift is taking heavy fire, said another. Sam watched with growing worry. The plan had worked at first, but the Krell had too many ships. The Veridonian fleet was being pushed back. We need to change our approach, he said. What do you suggest? The king asked. Sam studied the screen. The Krell warships are the real threat. They have the big guns. The small ships are just protection. We need to find a way to get to those big ships. Lyra had been watching quietly. Now she spoke. There is a way. Our scientists have been working on a new weapon. An energy pulse that can pass through shields. What? The king said, surprised. I have not heard of this. It is not finished, Lyra explained, but it might work. I've been following the research. It uses the same energy as our communication systems, but much stronger. Where is this weapon? Sam asked. In the science building near the palace. It's still just a prototype. Sam looked at the screens again. The battle in space was not going well. One Veridonian ship was badly damaged and drifting. We need to get that weapon, he said. Even if it's not finished, it might be our only chance. The king looked worried. The science building is not safe. The Krell could land troops at any moment. I'll go, Sam said. I can get the weapon and bring it back. I'm going with you, Lyra said, standing up shakily. No, the king and Sam said at the same time. You're too weak, Sam added more gently. I know how the weapon works, Lyra insisted. You'll need me to operate it. Sam saw the determination in her eyes. She was afraid, but she was not backing down. We'll take guards, he said to the king, and we'll be quick. The king looked at his daughter for a long moment. Very well, but Nix and 4 guards will go with you. They took a fast transport tube to the science building. It was a wide, low building made of the same crystal-like material as the palace. Inside, it was quiet and empty. The scientists had been sent to safe rooms when the alarm sounded. This way, Lyra said, leading them down a long hall. Her steps were slow, and Sam stayed close to her side, ready to help if she needed it. The weapon lab was at the back of the building. Inside, they found what looked like a large cannon made of clear tubes and glowing parts. This is it, Lyra said. The energy pulse generator. Will it work? Sam asked. In theory, Lyra said. It uses the unique frequency of Krell shield systems against them. The pulse should pass right through their shields as if they weren't there. How do we get it to the command center? We don't, Lyra said. It's too big to move quickly. We need to use it from here. It can reach orbit. Nix looked worried. Princess, the Krell could land soon. This building is not safe. We have no choice, Lyra said. She moved to the control panel and started pressing buttons. The machine hummed to life, glowing brighter. Sam's wrist communicator beeped. It was Kate. Commander, the Krell have broken through. 2 troop ships are heading for the planet's surface. 1 is heading for the palace area. We're in the science building, Sam told her. We found a weapon that might help, but we need time to use it. We'll try to slow them down, Kate promised. But hurry. Sam turned to the guards. Take positions at the entrances. If the Krell land, hold them off as long as you can. The guards nodded and moved out. Nick stayed with Sam and Lyra. How much longer? Sam asked Lyra. A few minutes, she said. Her hands were shaking as she worked the controls, but her eyes were focused and clear. I need to calibrate it to target the Krell warships. Outside, they heard the screaming sound of Krell ships entering the atmosphere. They're coming, Nick said quietly. Lyra worked faster. The machine was glowing brighter now, parts of it starting to spin. Almost ready, she said. Sam's communicator beeped again. Commander, the Krell ship is landing near the science building. Sam looked at Lyra. Her face was pale but determined. Keep working, he said. We'll protect you. He drew his weapon and moved toward the door, ready to face whatever was coming. The ground shook as a Krell ship landed outside the science building. Sam could hear strange clicking sounds getting closer. The Krell soldiers were coming. Lyra, we need that weapon now, Sam said. Almost ready, Lyra replied. Her hands moved quickly over the controls. The weapon was humming loudly now, glowing bright blue. The door to the lab burst open. One of the guards stumbled in, his weapon smoking. The Krell are inside the building, he gasped. The other guards are holding them back, but there are too many. Sam checked his own weapon. How much longer, Lyra? Just a few more seconds, she said. I need to lock onto the main Krell ships. Nick stood by the door with his weapon ready. I will help defend the entrance. The sounds of fighting grew louder. Weapons fired, people shouted. Then came the clicking sounds of Krell soldiers getting closer. Ready, Lyra suddenly cried. The weapon is locked on target. She pressed a final button on the control panel. The weapon's hum grew to a high-pitched whine. Then a bright beam of blue energy shot up through the ceiling, leaving a small, clean hole as it passed through. Did it work? Sam asked. Lyra looked at the screen on the control panel. The beam has reached space. It's hitting the first Krell warship now. On the screen, they could see a dot of blue light touch one of the big enemy ships. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then the ship's lights flickered. Parts of it went dark. It's working, Lyra said excitedly. Their shields are down and their power systems are failing. Sam quickly spoke into his communicator. Kate, the big Krell ship has lost shields. Hit it now. Copy that, Kate's voice replied. On the screen, They watched as the Swift and two Veridonian ships fired at the disabled Krell warship. Without its shields, the big ship couldn't protect itself. Explosions bloomed across its surface. "One down," Sam said. "Can you hit the other two?" Lyra was already working the controls. "Yes, but I need to reset the targeting system. It will take a minute." A loud explosion came from somewhere in the building. The lights flickered. "They're getting closer," the guard said, looking scared. "Keep working," Sam told Lyra. "We'll hold them off." He moved to the door, joining Nix and the guard. In the hallway, outside he could see flashes of light from weapons firing. Shadows moved on the walls, tall, thin shadows with too many arms. "Here they come," Nix said quietly. The first Krell soldier appeared at the end of the hallway. It was 7 feet tall, with a hard shell covering its body and 4 arms, each holding a weapon. Its head was like an insect's, with large compound eyes that reflected the light. Sam fired his weapon. The energy bolt hit the Krell soldier in the chest, making it stumble back. But it didn't fall. More Krell appeared behind it. "Behind me," Sam ordered Nix and the guard. "We'll back up to the lab door. Fire together on my mark." They moved back, slowly, step by step. The Krell advanced just as slowly, clicking to each other in their strange language. "Now," Sam shouted when the Krell were halfway down the hall. All 3 fired at once. 2 Krell fell, but the others kept coming. "Fall back to the lab," Sam ordered. They backed into the lab and closed the door. Sam quickly moved a heavy table in front of it. "That won't hold them for long," Nick said. Lyra was still working at the weapon controls. "Almost ready," she said. Her face was very pale and her hands were shaking, but her eyes were clear and focused. The door shook as something heavy hit it from the other side. The table moved a little. "Hurry," Sam said. "Targeting the second ship now," Lyra said. The weapon fired again, another beam of blue energy shooting up through the ceiling. On the screen, they watched it hit the second Krell warship. Like the first one, its lights flickered and went out. "Kate, second ship is disabled," Sam said into his communicator. "We see it," Kate replied. "Moving to attack now." The door shook again, harder this time. A crack appeared in the middle. "One more ship," Lyra said, her voice weak but determined. She worked the controls, resetting the targeting system once more. "Lyra, you need to rest," Nick said with concern. "You're using too much energy." "No time," she replied. "We have to finish this." The door cracked more. A Krell arm covered in hard black shell reached through the gap, feeling for the table. Sam fired at the arm. The Krell pulled back with an angry clicking sound. But then something hit the door with even more force. The table slid back several feet. "Target locked," Lyra said. Her voice was barely a whisper now. She pressed the firing button. For the third time, the weapon shot a beam of energy into space. On the screen, they watched it hit the last Krell warship. Like the others, its lights flickered and died. "All 3 warships are disabled," Lyra said. She tried to stand, but her legs gave way. Sam caught her before she fell. "Easy," he said gently. "You did it." His communicator beeped. "Commander," Kate's voice said. "All 3 Krell warships are destroyed. The smaller ships are retreating." "What about the Krell troops on the ground?" Sam asked. "Without their ships, they're cut off," Kate replied. "The Veridonian forces are moving in to clean up." The door to the lab burst open. The table flew across the room. 3 Krell soldiers stood in the doorway, weapons raised. Sam pulled Lyra behind him, raising his own weapon. Nix and the guard stood beside him, ready to fight to the end. But before anyone could fire, a bright white light filled the room. When it faded, the Krell soldiers were lying on the floor, not moving. King Zarthek stood in the doorway, holding an ancient-looking weapon. Guards stood behind him. "Father," Lyra said weakly. The king rushed to his daughter. "Lyra, are you hurt?" "No," she said. "Just tired. Very tired." The weapon worked, Sam told the king. "All 3 Krell warships are destroyed. Their ground troops are cut off." The king looked at his daughter with pride and wonder. "You saved us all." "We saved us," Lyra corrected him, looking at Sam. Later in the Palace Medical Center, doctors checked Lyra carefully. Sam waited outside with the king. She used too much energy, the king said. Her condition. Will she be all right? Sam asked, surprised by how worried he felt. For now, the king said. But this has made her even weaker. A doctor came out of Lyra's room. She is asking for both of you, he said. They found Lyra lying in a special bed with machines monitoring her condition. She looked even more frail than before, but she smiled when she saw them. The doctors say I should rest, she said. But I wanted to see you first, Commander Reed. Sam moved to her side. You were very brave today. So were you, she replied. She looked at her father. The Krell will come back, won't they? The king nodded sadly. Yes. They lost 3 ships today, but they have many more. They will return, stronger next time. Then we need a stronger alliance, Lyra said. She looked at Sam. The offer my father made you. Is it still something you would consider? Sam looked at this brave, frail princess who had risked her life to save her people. He thought about the war with the Krell, about how many lives could be saved with a strong alliance between Earth and Veridonia. Yes, he said. I would consider it. Lyra smiled. Good, because I have a plan. She tried to sit up, but was too weak. Rest now, Sam said gently. We can talk about plans tomorrow. Promise you'll still be here tomorrow? She asked. Sam looked at her, then at the king. I promise. As Sam left the medical center, he realized something had changed. What had started as a diplomatic mission, a duty, had become something more. He wasn't sure what yet, but he knew he would keep his promise to return tomorrow, and the day after, that, and for as many days as it took to figure out what this new feeling was. 3 months passed. The Krell had not returned yet, but everyone knew they would. Earth and Veridonia worked together to prepare for the next attack. Earth sent soldiers and ships. Veridonia shared their advanced technology. In the palace gardens, Sam walked slowly beside Princess Lyra. She still needed help sometimes, but she was stronger than before. The marriage ceremony had happened 2 months ago, a simple event by Veridonian standards, but still strange and beautiful to Sam. The doctors say you are getting better, Sam said. Lyra nodded. A little each day. The treatments are working. The treatments were a mix of Veridonian and Earth medicine. The doctors had taken cells from Sam and used them to make special medicine for Lyra. No one was sure if it would work at first, but it was helping. Lyra could walk longer now, and her skin had a healthier glow. The Earth ships will arrive tomorrow, Sam said. That will give us 30 ships total. And the new weapon? Lyra asked. Your scientists have made 10 more. They will be placed around the planet. They stopped by the glowing pond. This had become their special place to talk. Sam had learned that Lyra loved stories about Earth, especially about the oceans and forests. He had shown her pictures and videos and promised that one day she would see them in person. Sam, Lyra said quietly, using his first name as she did when they were alone. Are you happy here? The question surprised him. Yes, he said. Why do you ask? I know this was not your choice at first. You came here because of duty, not love. Sam took her hand. It was something he had started doing recently, and it felt right. Things change, he said simply. And they had changed. What had started as a diplomatic arrangement had become something more. Sam had grown to admire Lyra's sharp mind and brave spirit. She had grown stronger with the treatments, but she had always been strong inside. And Lyra had come to see Sam as more than just a human soldier. He was kind and smart and made her laugh with his stories about Earth. The Krell will come back with more ships next time, Lyra said. Our spies say they are building a huge fleet. We'll be ready, Sam replied. Both of our worlds are preparing. Lyra looked up at the orange sky. I've been thinking. The weapon we used against them, it worked because it was something they didn't expect. Something new. Yes. We need something else new for when they return. Something they won't be ready for. Sam nodded. The Earth scientist and your scientist are working together, but they haven't found anything yet. I have an idea, Lyra said, but it's unusual. Later that day, in the king's private meeting room, Lyra explained her idea to her father, Sam, and the chief scientists from both worlds. The Veridonian royal family has always had a special ability, she said. We can connect our minds to our technology in ways others cannot. That's how I was able to make the weapon work so well. The king looked concerned. Lyra, this ability is a secret of our family. We can't keep secrets if we want to survive, Lyra replied firmly. The Krell are coming, and we need every advantage. She turned to the Earth scientist, Dr. Alan Foster. Your ships have AI systems to help control weapons and shields, yes? That's right, Dr. Foster said. But they're just computers. They can't think creatively like a person. What if they could, Lyra asked. What if I could connect my mind to your ship's systems? I could control them directly, make them move and fight in ways the Krell could never predict. Everyone looked shocked. Is that possible? Sam asked. The Veridonian chief scientist, Zell, spoke slowly. In theory, yes. The princess has a natural connection to our technology. With the right interface, she might be able to connect to Earth technology too. It's too dangerous, the king said firmly. The strain on your mind could kill you, Lyra. If the Krell win, we all die anyway, Lyra replied. Sam looked at his wife with worry. She had grown stronger, but she was still not fully healthy. Could her body handle such a strain? There might be another way, Sam said suddenly. What if I connect too? Now everyone looked at him. What do you mean? Dr. Foster asked. Lyra and I are bonded through the marriage ceremony, Sam explained. And my DNA is helping make her stronger. What if that connection works both ways? Could I share the burden with her? The room was quiet for a long moment. Then Zell nodded slowly. It might work. The bond between you is still new, but it is real. And it's getting stronger as the princess gets healthier. We'd need to build a special interface, Dr. Foster said, getting excited. Something that could connect both of you to our ships. And we would need to test it carefully, Zell added. The king still looked worried, but he could see the determination in his daughter's eyes. She was not the frail princess anymore. She was becoming something new. Very well, he said finally. We will try. The next 6 weeks were busy. Scientists from both worlds worked together to build the special interface. Sam and Lyra spent hours each day strengthening their bond through Veridonian mental exercises. Lyra continued her treatments and grew stronger. The day came for the first test. Sam and Lyra sat in special chairs in the command center. The chairs were connected to a small Earth fighter ship that was in orbit. Ready? Sam asked. Lyra nodded. She looked nervous but determined. Zell and Dr. Foster activated the interface. Sam felt a strange tingling in his head, then a sudden rush of information. He could see through the ship's sensors, feel its systems like they were parts of his own body. Beside him, Lyra gasped. I can feel it too, she whispered. The ship, it's like it's part of me. Together they moved the ship through a simple course around the planet. It was hard at first, but they quickly learned to work together. The ship moved faster and more smoothly than it ever had with a human pilot. The tests continued for 3 more weeks. Each day they connected to more ships, learning to control them as one fleet. It was tiring work, but Lyra didn't get weaker. In fact, she seemed to get stronger. The connection is helping her, Zell explained to Sam. Your strength flows into her through the bond. Then came the day they had all been preparing for. The aid. Long-range sensors detected a large fleet of ships entering the system. The Krell had returned with twice as many ships as before. They have 15 warships this time, Admiral Zira reported, and at least 100 smaller attack ships. Sam looked at Lyra. Are you ready? She nodded. Together, they took their places in the new control room, built specially for them. The interface was connected to all 40 ships in the combined Earth-Veridonian fleet. As the Krell fleet approached, Sam and Lyra joined their minds to the ships. The sensation was now familiar, but still amazing. They could see everything. Control, Everything. Attack pattern ready, Sam said. Weapons charged, Lyra added. The Krell fleet came closer, moving in the same formation they had used before. They clearly expected the same defense they had seen last time. But this time was different. The Earth and Veridonian ships moved as one perfect unit, flowing around each other in patterns that would be impossible for normal pilots to follow. Now, Sam and Lyra said together. Their fleet split into 3 groups, attacking the Krell from different directions at once. The Krell tried to adjust, but they were too slow. Their ships fired at targets that weren't there anymore. 5 Krell ships were destroyed in the first attack run. The Earth Veridonian fleet regrouped and attacked again, moving in perfect harmony. The battle lasted for 3 hours. By the end, all 15 Krell warships were destroyed. The smaller ships fled back into deep space. In the control room, Sam and Lyra slowly disconnected from the interface. They were tired, but happy. We did it, Lyra said, smiling. Yes, Sam replied. We did. Later, as the celebrations began across both worlds, Sam and Lyra stood together on a balcony of the palace, looking at the stars. The doctors say I'm almost completely healthy now, Lyra said. The bond with you has fixed what was wrong with me. Sam smiled. I'm glad. And what about you? She asked. Has the bond with me changed you too? Sam thought about it. He was still the same person, but also different. He could feel things he couldn't feel before, understand things that had been mysteries. Yes, he said. I'm stronger too, in different ways. Lyra took his hand. When I first heard my father's plan to marry me to a human, I thought it was just about survival, about politics. So did I, Sam admitted. But it became something more, Lyra said. Something neither of us expected. Sam nodded. He had come to Veridonia because of duty. He had married Lyra to secure an alliance. But somewhere along the way, duty had become care, and care had become love. When the Krell are truly defeated, Sam said, I want to show you Earth. The oceans, the forests, everything. I'd like that, Lyra replied. And I want to show you more of Veridonia. There are crystal mountains in the south that glow in the moonlight. They stood together watching the stars. The war wasn't over. The Krell would return again someday, but Earth and Veridonia would be ready, standing together, and at the center of it all, a human commander and an alien princess who had both become something new. Something stronger and better than either could have been alone.